Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is an awful day. Today is Wednesday, November the 7th, and this is the market overview. So, no need to list off what we look at. Today was beyond anything the entire year. So the headlines say, worst day of the year. Wow. Obama won. The Greek vote passed, and everything looks absolutely, massively terrible. So last night, we had broken back inside the descending channel. We said that we needed to hold. Things weren't looking so bad, but we needed to hold. We could not fall back outside of it. And what do? We fall back outside of it in a very spectacular fashion. Dow down 300 and almost 13 points, totally laying waste to the charts. That's very interesting because on one hand you would say, oh, Obama got elected, of course it's going to crap out. But in the futures market leading up to the open, the market was actually flat. It did sell off overnight some, and it regained itself back to zero by the time it was time for us to open again. And right before we opened, Mario Draghi comes out and says that Germany is now having problems. And that's what destroyed the market, which I'm sure Obama didn't help either. But anyways, why would they pick today of all days to say that? I don't know, but awful convenient. Awful convenient. So, what do we have today? Well, it looks pretty darn bad. Oh, yeah, it sure does. Destroyed the 200-day moving average, closed below it. It destroyed the previous level that was support, no problems. Destroyed the next support level that we figured if the first one got beat, next one would line up well, lined up with the 200-day moving average. Destroyed that as well. So, wow. That would mean the next good place for this thing to get caught would be either down here at 12,800 or more likely down here in the 12,500 area. Wow. Ugly. What is there to say beyond that? Yeah, we have a blip in the heat map. So what? We do have a volume spike today. It isn't the largest volume spike, you'd hope for on a day like today. So, yeah, that's minor too. Now we have the MACD histogram broken. We had been watching it rise this whole time, waiting for the market to, catch on. And instead we now have a new downtick after all of that. Bummer. MACD itself going down, RSI going down, CCI going down, stochastics now turning down, they were pointed up, and the 14-day RSI moving average continues its trek down. Wow. So, daily time frame, except for maybe being oversold in the very, very short term, it looks absolutely horrible, and that's all there is to it. 60-minute time frame. Yep, we can see the gigantic, titanic, awful move to the downside. It did recover a little bit today, but really awful. And how about a bounce at this point? Well, MACD histogram ticking down by the end of the day. MACD down, RSI down, CCI sideways, stochastics mixed. And yeah, the 14-day RSI moving average pointing up by the end of the day, but the daily doesn't look that good either. So, bad daily, bad 60-minute. What can you say beyond that? Going on to, we'll look at all of them tonight. Dow Jones Transports. Looked at this last night. We had a new recent high, which was bullish. We closed above the 200-day moving average, which was bullish. And we were wondering what would happen if it got to the previous high. Well, we didn't get to the previous high. Instead, we reversed dramatically, closing below the 200-day moving average. Once again, bearish. Working off some of the topping area, which we noted last night. And now we also have good alignment in the daily for movement down. Oh, how about that? Stochastics pointing down, CCI down, RSI down, MACD going down, MACD histogram going down, 14-day RSI moving average leveling out, going sideways high. Wow. SPX, more of the same. Back inside the channel last night, said we had to hold inside of there, and we did not. We're not at the 200-day moving average yet, at 1380 currently. Maybe it can be caught there, maybe not. And we broke and closed below our first good support. So beyond the 200-day moving average, let's say it falls apart, fiscal cliff and all that yammering, where would it be going? It would be going right here, major price consensus level for the previous month, and that is essentially at 1350 roundabout. So almost 50 points to the downside from where it is now, and very ugly, just like the Dow, everything ticking down, very minor blip in the heat map. Daily chart, awful. Going on to the VIX. Yeah. We were hoping that this was going to be a series of lower highs, and that was broken today. Closed below the 200-day moving average yesterday. We thought that that might be a tell, and no, unfortunately. So making a new recent high, coming in on the major recent high, and of course being above the 200-day moving average once again. Beyond that, nothing in the heat map suggesting a problem. We did note the heat map blip for a bottoming area slightly last night, and wow, incredible. Beyond that, everything ticking up. Not bad for the bears, not bad at all. Going on to TNA. At one point today, TNA didn't look so bad. It looked like maybe we'd be able to stay within the channel slightly. But by the end of the day, that was those hopes were dashed. Closing outside the channel for the very first time. Closing below the 200-day moving average for the very first time. And yes, getting a blip in the heat map for a bottoming area short term. Beyond that, most everything ticking down with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average, stalling its ascent. Bad sign. The only good thing here, and it's minor, is massive volume surge today. Is that, the wipeout where you can have a bottom. That's possible, but so much damage done. So much damage. Beyond that, do we have anything? Well, we're at the first support. And we closed at the first support. So we've pierced first support, closed at first support. Man, the bulls need to pray tonight that the sucker will bounce, because if that doesn't hold, then it is down to 53. And if you break 53, then it's a essentially a straight shot to this gap fill down here at 50 and 48. And maybe a bottom here at 47. But anyways, that would be very, very bloody. So we'll see what happens. Going on to UUP. Yeah. This was doing great in the overnight. It was going down. It was I think it was somewhere around here, 22.05 roundabout comparisons to. Actually, you know what? No, it was more down close to 22. because it had a dollar went up more than a penny after the elections, and it wasn't until Draghi messed it up that it came up here. So red today, new recent high bullish, everything ticking up, minor topping area in the heat map. It looked extended before, it still looks extended, but we're going to have to see what that Greek vote is going to do to the euro come tomorrow. So far, it hasn't done anything. As a matter of fact, the dollar was rising still after the Greek vote, which is not what it should be doing, but is what it is doing anyway. So, not a good sign. And looking at FXE, the euro said it looked pretty darn extended. It had a good chance for getting an uptick yesterday, and of course that was dashed to pieces. Everything ticking down, bottoming area starting to form in the heat map, or continuing to form, I should say. But nonetheless, not attractive, not attractive. Never did get an uptick. Unattractive. And GLD. Positive day today. Hanging Man, top of a possible range. Uptick has been completed. Nothing in the heat map. Most things ticking up. Doesn't look bad in the daily. But, yeah. Very interesting, though. Interesting that gold is going up, and the dollar also went up. So that doesn't really jive. So something is wrong. I don't know which one it is, but I'd be more of the opinion that gold is wrong than the dollar. Need more data. CompQ the NASDAQ. Oh boy. Closing below the 200-day moving average, first time. Massive wipeout. Beating both of the possible ascending trend lines that we've been following, which the one has been acting as really good support and gapped right through it today. Gone. Everything ticking down. Even the 14-day RSI moving average. Horrible. Horrible. And Apple. Also terrible. We were saying last night, doesn't look good. We're hoping that it would change quickly and end the pain. Instead, a massive wipeout, almost $25 down today, closing below the lower Bollinger Band, getting a really deep mark in the heat map. Everything ticking down. Horrible. Staying below the 200-day moving average. At some point, we should have a retest of it. That barely would only take it to like 591. So the 600 area becoming less likely. Oof. As for areas for this to stop, oh man, broke this support today, broke this support today, and now it is down into this support right here, which is the last support before it goes all the way down here to just above 520. Awful. Awful. Going on to GE, trying to get a better read on the Dow. We noted that we had completed the uptick target as of yesterday. We had to see what it would want to do next. And just like everything else, it dumped out. It's not as bad as the Dow and SPX. It's not as bad by far. We still are maintaining this first support level. If that breaks, the next one would be down here at 20.5. Another blip in the heat map, everything ticking down. Actually, it's a slight tick up in the MACD histogram. Very interesting. So one sole stubborn holdout. Very interesting. Going on to JP Morgan, most important bank. Look what the most important bank did. It almost took out all of the long-term moving average bar. Everything moving down. Massive surge in volume, which is very interesting. And what else is there to say? It looks really, really bad. Did Apple get a surge? Apple got a pretty good surge today, but not as extreme as we would have hoped. And GE, matter of fact, I want to see that too. No surge in GE. And XLF, the financials as a whole, oof, even worse than JP Morgan, closing below the long-term moving average bar. Everything moving down, but look at that. We do have a really good volume surge on this that does eclipse everything in the recent past. Is this the washout? I don't know. I don't know. Everything ticking down. Awful. And that's going to be about it for this evening. A big disappointment. The Bulls just crushed and mauled and dead. What is there to say beyond that? Now it's up to the politicians to do something that's positive. Oh, we all know better than that. So, well, it is what it is. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you very much.